Here we go. And we are live with Writing Sprint Wednesday with your hosts, Hank Gardner and myself, Doug Lansborough. I hope everyone's doing fantastic. Hank, how are you doing today?
If I were any better, I did a special license. I don't know.
Ah!
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I really thought I was
Uh,
gonna come out the gate with some heat there, and it just kind of fizzled right in the middle of us.
I like that one though. For those who don't
Mhm.
know, I'll often ask Hank how he's doing, and he'll respond with, "If I were any better,
Yeah.
insert something here." I
Right.
love it.
How are you today,
We
Doug?
do. I'm doing fantastic. I mean, my throat's still a little scratchy. It's always scratchy a day after a workshop, right? Because I'm just talking at the folks there for
For
2 hours.
7 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, felt like that to you. Felt like 30 minutes to me, Hank, because I was having so much fun. But
It was a great workshop.
thank you. Thank you. And
Yeah.
yeah, if you are watching this with us live now or after the fact, you can catch that workshop on our YouTube channel. We have a 60-day challenge playlist actually that you can check out if you want to catch up on all the events. Steph from Central New York State. I'm on it every
Hello,
time.
Steph.
Steph, thank you for joining us today. Wonderful to see you. If you are rolling in, we have what 3.5 minutes before our
Yeah.
sprint starts. We
The
posted the
links
link
to
to it.
sprint number 1 should be in the comments on Facebook and YouTube. Sorry, I think
Mhm.
you were about to say the exact same thing, and I just
Great
stepped all
minds,
over
Hank.
right,
Great minds.
etcetera. What you writing
Whether
today, Doug?
you're I
Oh,
am I'm going to so I've been talking for a little bit now that I'm writing this, like I wrote these parallel plot lines and was ignoring one, right? Um I'm coming to the point where that plot line is going to intersect with the main one. This is the last scene or maybe scene and a half that I have to write before I'm back to, normal. So,
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
Fiona
I'm
from
doing
the
some
UK.
little oh, hello, Fiona.
Still editing. I know that. I know that pain. I take it
Right.
on willingly, but but from a writing perspective, I know how much that can drag and
Oh,
just go
yeah.
on and on and on. What are
For
you working on
sure.
today, Hank?
I'm actually, doing a rewrite project of an
Ooh,
older, novella, and, I'm because I have some plans for that after the first of the year. So I'm taking a passage that has already been written, but I'm gonna rewrite it because I'm got
nice.
some new ideas, and so, I'm working on that today.
Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I'm going to. I mean, I've started doing this. I don't know whether people like it or not, but here's the playlist I'm listening to whilst we write today. If you want to listen along, it's a dark lo-fi chill, which like I searched dark fantasy lo-fi and it came up. It really isn't fantasy, but it is still just nice and relaxing.
Yeah.
We have David from London joining us today. Hello, David. Welcome. I'm assuming London, England, the UK, rather than London, Ontario, which is 2 hours from me, so, and where my lovely wife is from. So
You know, David didn't specify,
he
so
didn't.
I think we get to choose where we imagine David to be residing.
Sorry, David, you don't get to decide where you
Yeah,
live today.
yeah.
That's what you get
Doug
for joining writing
yeah,
sprints.
Doug just stuck you in the UK, but I claim you for North America.
We're extra sassy today, it seems.
Yeah.
I
We
will
have
take this last minute before we start
yeah.
to just say, be sure to tune in tomorrow at same time, same bat place for our 60-day challenge week 2 live stream where we're talking about crafting characters. David clarified UK, the homeland.
Dang it. Oh, well.
One day I'll
One
get
day,
someone.
one day, one day.
Okay. We have 30 minutes here. It's a little tight now since we're going to start the sprint in a moment. Hank, you're sharing your screen?
Yep, let me
Um,
I forgot to do that. I should probably get on that right now. Mercy.
but when we come back from this sprint in 20 minutes, feel free to share what you've been writing, what challenges you had, what successes you had. We have 10 seconds. I'm going to mute myself, and I'll see y'all on the other side.
Here we go.
Okay. There we have it. That's 20 minutes of blissful writing, one might say.
Whew.
How'd it go for you, Hank?
Fairly decent. 715 words, which is,
Excellent.
nothing to complain about.
Absolutely not.
Um, it was a little. I found myself um running ahead because this is a story that I'm familiar with, but I was thinking of different ways to say things, different. I know some things that I'm wanting to weave into the story, so I was looking for places to to bring thoughts into, and so I found myself pausing to think, is this the right place? I've got some notes on another screen here of, so I have a plan, but when you're executing the plan, sometimes there's places for pause, and
Mhm.
um, it's a little different than just writing off your spine, just as it
Yep.
comes to you, because
Yeah.
thinking about something that already exists. But anyway,
Awesome.
how about you?
I It went well. I do want to take a moment here. TW was late to the party. It says sorry that they're late.
TW.
Unforgivable.
Mm,
No, welcome TW. We're happy to see you here.
always.
Um, my writing went well though. I got 935 words, and I am finding more and more, especially during these sprints, when we're doing 20-minute sprints, I am getting close to that 900 word mark pretty consistently, which is
Yeah,
nice. And
amazing.
shows. I think we talked about this last time, or last time I might have run this solo, but um, I was averaging like 700 words, maybe
Mhm.
600 a couple months ago. So practice makes progress.
It does.
Um, so yeah, and that actually got me thinking. Well, years got me thinking that maybe we should do a fireside chat about our post first draft processes.
Okay, let's
Maybe
do it.
December or January, like after we're done the 60-day challenge. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That's how we come up with fireside chat topics, everyone. Like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Let's
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah. Which is,
uh,
uh which is, a different animal than our, office hours that we do every other
mhm.
Friday, where we actually think about it ahead of time and try to come up with good, solid answers, and, fireside chats are not that.
Kara got 320 words in. Awesome. I'm glad you were able to join
Excellent.
us. It's fantastic. We actually had 6 people participating in the wordsprint.org sprint with us, and we got almost 3,000 words written together, which is fantastic. That's a sizable chapter between us
Yeah,
all.
that was amazing. Kara, 320 words. I was here. I was just hiding in the laundry room. Are you writing in the laundry room? Because Stephen King talks about in his book on writing that after he had his horrific wreck, I believe, or when the car hit him when he was out on a walk, that he began writing again. His wife had set him up a little workstation just outside their laundry room, if I remember right. Maybe I'm completely making up that story, but he had a typewriter on his lap, if I remember right, or something like it in his laundry room.
Very
Anyway,
cool.
that's beside the point. Your laundry room comment made me think of that.
Hank, I don't know if you made us a second word sprints, but I've gone ahead and made one and shared the link.
Excellent. I'm
So
glad you
that
did.
is in the chat there. I'll send it to you. There you go. Um, David managed 220 words on your phone. That's fantastic.
That is
I
amazing.
I try to write on my phone when I can. I'm still trying to get used to it. It's definitely
Yeah,
a different experience to have your hands together like that rather
yeah.
than how we're all used to them, right?
That's
Kara needs a
when.
window to write, and I don't
Oh, yeah.
disagree. Actually, when we do these sprints, I'm in my basement studio here, where the only window is that one. Right. So normally when I do my writing, it is I get to look out and all the leaves are changing color and whatnot. So I feel Kara's pain there.
If I'm writing on my phone, I prefer to do it with my miniature Bluetooth collapsible
Mm,
keyboard
hmm hmm
that unfolds
Oh, it
and then
folds? I
oh,
didn't
yeah, it
know that.
folds. Yeah, it folds and then has this nifty little holder for your phone there,
Oh, very
and
cool.
then
I should get
yeah,
me
and
one
then
of
you
those actually.
collapse it and put it in its little
Yeah,
nifty carry case that I keep in my backpack at all times.
that's a very good idea.
Yeah, it's, that came from, lots of trying to type with my thumbs and, cussing and screaming and throwing the phone across the room.
Kara says that someone once
Um,
said she should tell people they're going to make a joke because otherwise no one would know. No, I get it. I That's often the best kind of humor. Let's be real. When sometimes you have to preface it for people to get it. I'm no stranger to obscure humor.
right, right.
It's also tough. We're translating from text, right? Which we lose a lot of the nuance. Which nuance goes a
Yeah,
long way when it comes to jokes. So
yeah.
that's why humor is also can be very tough to get right when you're writing as well.
It really can. It
Mhm.
really can. And I would, argue that, suspense and, more of the darker stuff that you like to write is difficult to convey the proper context and emotion that comes with that.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
that might be another good, topic to explore sometime, how to convey emotions on two-dimensional typewritten
yeah.
pages.
I will say, since we only have 3 minutes before the next one starts, when it comes to writing something suspenseful or creepy, even my, like, number 1 tip for writers is isolation. And I'm inevitably gonna do, like, a workshop or something about writing horror, but that is, like, the key thing. That's one of the key elements in horror that I often borrow from is isolation. And that's why my favorite my favorite era of horror movies is like early 2000s horror because everyone had their flip phone, and so 9 times out of 10 they just didn't have service because there wasn't, cell towers everywhere like there is today. So it was easy. They weren't isolated like, 1600s isolated, but they could still be isolated in a different way. And it's just neat to think about different ways to do that.
Well, there's a fairly popular trend now of thrillers that are set like in the 1980s or
Mhm.
where it's fairly modern, but not cell phone connected modern. And I
Yeah.
think because so many problems are easily solved by just pulling out your phone and, sending a text or dialing
Mhm.
911 or something. And if you can remove that always connected aspect, that opens up all kinds of story opportunities.
Mhm. You'll often see in horror these days, if it's not remote, like physical isolation, so like folk horror, think movies like Midsommar or The Ritual by Adam Neville, which is a book and movie. Like those are out in the woods, but you also have a growing like psychological isolation.
Mm.
Because if I turn to maybe not you, Hank, maybe you'd believe me, but if I turn to someone and said, "Hey, I'm being haunted right now," they're like, "No, you're not."
Right.
Is that okay? Well, like I am, and then people wouldn't believe me, right? And then you play on what social strain that brings into it, and then you do the isolation that way. Like there's a whole bunch of ways you can do it, but if you're going for suspense, figure out a way to make your character feel
Right.
isolated, whether physically or emotionally or psychologically, however you want to play with it. That would be my number one tip, I guess.
Yeah.
I do want to bug some people in the chat here, like Kara, David, TW. What are y'all working on right now? I know we only have a minute now until the next sprint starts, but Steph is planning. Um, what else do we have here?
Kara says the true horror was having to tap a key multiple times to get a letter. Don't know if
What was it?
anyone could have written a novel on the phone in the early 2000s, right? Tat, 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 A, tat, 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 tat. Yeah.
Was there T9 predictive text or something I had on one of my flip phones where when you started typing something and hitting the same thing 5 times, it would eventually start predicting what you want. That was
Right.
revolutionary. That was a
Yeah.
game changer. I
Yeah.
guess, oh, I'm sharing my screen this time
Yep.
around, aren't I?
Yeah. I was about to mention that.
Oopsies.
Ooh.
There we go. All right, here we go. I'm gonna mute myself, listen to some tunes. I'll see everyone in 20 minutes. Okay. And that is our 20 minutes up, second 20-minute sprint. I was getting a little notification there that my connection was a bit iffy, so I apologize if I was a bit stuttery on there. Not that anyone could hear me, hear me, cursing my internet connection, but if it was janky on the screen share. Hank, how'd you do?
895 words,
Excellent, excellent.
which
I got.
which goes to prove that when you're not typing on screen, you're not as prone to have to go back and fix typos. That's what I attribute mine to.
I got 824. You beat me, which is nice. It is a good word count. I felt a little bit of meandering towards the end, and
Yeah.
quite frankly, I don't know if it's just because it's been raining today. Like I would have stopped at the 15-minute mark this time around. So it's actually nice that we have these because it kept me going. It pushed me to go that extra 5 minutes, which is good.
Yeah.
We have here that Kara is trying to finish the first draft of your Bog Heg project. Fantastic. And TW is loving the playlist this week. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Like I put it on while I'm cooking too. It's just nice, nice chill vibes. David got 396 words this time. Fantastic. That's 50% more than last time.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's almost 100% more than last time. And Steph hit your planning goal that you had for a 20-minute sprint. Awesome. Fantastic.
Excellent.
And TW also took a break for a couple of weeks, so just reading through a couple of chapters before continuing to edit at Act 3 now. Yes, I've been there. And Joellen used this time for editing, made it through 3 chapters. I'm loving this. This is fantastic.
Love it.
We had a lot of participation this time around. We had 6 people in the sprint as well. We got a total of 2,770 words. So just about the same amount as last time.
Look at Joel bringing in the big numbers.
Fantastic, Joel.
Sprint, 450 for the second.
This has been a very productive Wednesday for dabblers.
Yeah, we collectively got 2 big chapters written.
That's what, 6,000 words, just shy. So
yeah,
great job, everybody. Hank, is there anything you want to shamelessly plug before we go?
We've got our 60-day challenge week 2 show tomorrow with you, Josh, and me, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm just checking the calendar. Next Tuesday, we have a show, an interview show open for everyone at standard podcast time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, with Steve Bowyer and Rhett Bruno, and we're going to be talking about lit RPG fantasy. They are the owners of a publishing house who is the largest publisher of lit RPG fantasy right now. And I was talking to Steve, who's a very good friend of mine, the other day, and I was telling him how I can't wrap my brain around what lit RPG fantasy is. And he said, well, let's just do a show about it. So we're going to talk about what lit RPG fantasy is, what progression fantasy is, how it differs from traditional epic high fantasy that, maybe we all grew up on, and kind of what some new exciting boundary pushing, genre stretching things are going on in fantasy right now. So it should be a fun conversation. So if you're interested in writing fantasy, knowing what's kind of on the cutting edge or what ways fantasy is expanding, join us for that on Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely. David saying 3 days of Dabble content. You're spoiling us. Funny. Very good. And
it's literally our job to spoil you.
We have excellent jobs, right? We're very lucky individuals. We do have a lot of content coming for the rest of October, and then we have even more coming in November, and we'll announce all of that soon enough. But for now, we will see you tomorrow for the 60-day novel challenge week 2, and then we will hopefully see you on Tuesday for that show with about lit RPG. I'm really interested in it, and I really don't want it to inspire me to write something else because I have so many things I want to write.
I know that's I'm having the same thought process. Like, don't explain it to me so that I can really wrap my head around it, but don't sell me too hard.
Yeah, do it academically.
Right.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you later.
Yeah.